Hello. Hi again. Myself Ajay and with me is Rushi Agrawal and Ajay Agrawal. They both work for Reliance Jio. They are the active technical contributor to the OpenStack, and they have been contributing for the last few years. We'll just start our initial discussion. Hey Rushi, welcome to the OpenStack India Day 2015. Let us know how is your experience with OpenStack as you have been contributing for very some time. So what are your contribution all about? Which all part of the OpenStack have you contributed? So just give us a little insight about it.
Thanks, Ajay. So I've been working with OpenStack since past 3 years. I started first working with the share service, which later spun out of Cinder and became its own project named as Manila. So I was one of the few contributors who kind of started it in NetApp. After that, that was it. And side by side, I was also an active contributor in Cinder for almost 2 years. So I've been doing mostly community work, bug fixes, reviewing code for a lot of patches in the past 2 or 3 years. That is how I started in OpenStack, mostly in the block storage and shared services background. And later I moved on to databases. So currently we are working on Keystone and making Keystone work in a multi-region deployment. So the problem which we face currently is we kind of have limited choices with respect to databases in OpenStack. So we are trying to look for alternatives with regards to databases. So we have come up with a Cassandra backend for Keystone, and which allows us to scale the database backend as well as have all the features which comes with a distributed database like geo-replication and all those things.
Great. So, Ajay, why don't you tell us something about your contributions?
I started with OpenStack around 1.5 years ago. So, mostly I've been involved in projects like Keystone, Glance, Tempest, MagnetoDB. And I think OpenStack is great. I mean, the idea of putting your code out in the open and getting review from people all over the world, that part is awesome, although frustrating sometimes. That's the best part about OpenStack. And you can also go and review other people's code and have your opinion, and if you are saying something good, then your voice also counts. So that's the part I love about OpenStack.
Great. So you have been working closely on the Keystone and the Cassandra, right?
Yes.
So apart from these two, where do you find most challenging part in OpenStack, and where do you see OpenStack in next 1 year in terms of the stability, in terms of the code stability within the Cassandra and Keystone stuff? So what is the status of the project as of now?
Go ahead.
So basically, if you are talking about OpenStack in whole, I would say OpenStack's the first rapid growth phase has kind of finished, and we have kind of moved into the second stage where we are kind of consolidating the services, like fixing it and making it robust and solid.
Right.
And that is the phase where OpenStack currently is in, and which is actually a good thing. And that means that the quality of the open source projects which are there in OpenStack is going to improve now. So the focus has changed from new features to making the features more robust and without any bugs. So some of the challenges which I see people solving in the coming year or two are all the bottlenecks which OpenStack people have lived so far, but they are getting the attention now. And most of them are scalability bottlenecks. For example, the database bottleneck which we are working on. There are other places also where kind of bottlenecks exist. For example, the scheduler and also these are the things which are going to get more focus.
Great. So what are your favorite tools when it comes to the development, right? So you might be using a lot of development tools, different frameworks, especially for the Python. So which is the framework which is very very useful for you. It has a lot of flexibility and it helps you in in making your work more smoother. Or do you have any such preference when it comes to the tool part?
I think it's mostly general Python development tools. I use Python in virtual environment, and I use Vim for editing code.
Great.
Me too, I'm a big fan.
Okay. So how easy is it for anyone who is getting into the OpenStack development? Any piece of advice for them? How to get started?
I think if you search in internet, you'll find tons of materials on starting out with OpenStack. But once you start out and have few patches submitted to OpenStack, then it becomes a bit difficult. You don't know what to work on since there are a lot of components. So basically, you need to find someone who is willing to help you.
So yeah, kind of piece of advice is if you go and talk to the existing core or like key contributors in OpenStack project and ask them what are the issues, or if you can help them in some way, they'll be able to guide a new contributor, and that would work out much better than if a contributor like goes out in the open and tries to search, because the code might be very very overwhelming, because it's a huge space in OpenStack.
And one more thing, you see there's a huge participation from the community on any small piece of the work that you do in the center or any of the projects. So how do you actually manage the latest updates, right? So because you might be just doing some kind of work on the center part and you see other companies also working on that. So how do you actually deal with those? Do you frequently chat with the other people on IRC, or how exactly do you engage yourself?
Yeah, so IRC kind of acts as a chat room, or basically people like talk very openly there. They talk as friends. They make jokes about each other and all. So it's kind of fun getting involved with people. So as a beginner, right, it was kind of a very good experience that technical architects and team leads of different people of different companies, they all were kind of very responsive, and you get to interact with them, have your opinions heard. So yeah.
So I'll add something to what Rushi said. Mostly you would be present in the IRC channel, go to meetings, right? Weekly meetings. Every project has weekly meetings. Then you follow code reviews, code written by other people. You follow blueprints, and there is something called spec, wherein people describe their blueprints in more detail, and you read the specs, you give your review. This way you get to know more about what is going on in the project.
Yeah, it looks like you guys are doing multitasking, very engaging model. Good.
Since OpenStack is moving a lot fast, I mean, since there are so many people involved, you need to be ahead with these things.
Absolutely. So, as an active technical contributor, what is your goal for next 6 months?
I would say I would like to. So Nova is kind of facing kind of a problem right now. The code reviewer problem. There is a lot of code which is coming, and there are not enough people to review the code, and that is kind of hurting the speed at which all the bottlenecks which I talked about before are getting removed. So I would like to be another person joining there and try to help in moving the project forward.
Great. What about you?
I feel that there is a disconnect between the projects. So I think there need to be a lot more cross-functional, meetings and cross-functional collaborations. For example, I mean, we saw the domain concept in Keystone, right, years ago that we saw in Havana release, but that concept has not been integrated to other components yet, and Keystone has moved to something called hierarchical dependency, right? So
Yes.
I would like to see more cross-project collaboration, so that a feature when comes to a new project, it also gets integrated to other projects.
That's pretty awesome, guys. I really like the kind of passion you have for the open source, OpenStack, and pretty involved, engaged, the ownership that you guys are taking. I wish you all the best for next vision that you have for, and together we all make a difference, right? So each one of us here are engaged in this OpenStack India Day to collaborate and communicate about everything that we work. So thank you again. Thank you very much for being a part of this event. I wish you all the best for you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.